me, Juliet, your Scorpion Goddess, and I am the owner and creator of Scorpion Goddess Spiritual Healing. Now I'm here to talk to you guys today about the Aries New Moon we have. But before we get into that, I want to ask you guys to make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. If you're not yet, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up and comment if you learned anything or how this really made sense to you. I want to speak on the fact that this is a new moon in Aries. It is the first new moon of the astrological year, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and it's all about doing new things. So what I wanted to speak on and talk about with you guys is the fact that I am now going to be doing something new with my moon circles, starting now with this new moon. And those of you who did sign up for the Reiki and Diksha, you guys are already aware of what's going on because we have already spoken one-on-one. For those of you that don't, I'm going to explain to you now. So what I've done in the past with my moon circles is talk about the astrology aspects of what this moon cycle is bringing in, who it's really affecting, and then I have done a collective tarot reading with 3 cards drawn along with a Moonology card drawn, and probably another oracle deck. Sometimes I would do something different, and then I would get into playing a Tibetan bowl, walking you through meditation, and then for the people who did sign up for Reiki and Diksha, you guys would end up receiving that energy healing. So what I'm doing now, it's a little bit different, is instead of doing these Instagram live videos and then uploading them later on, is I'm now doing pre-recorded videos, and I will be doing a video still speaking on what this moon means astrologically, who it's going to be affecting, and going down the list of which houses based on your sun and rising, where you'll be highlighted the most in whatever moon cycle is happening. And then I will do 1 card draw from the Moonology deck, because this is about new moons and full moons, so I want to use specifically just this deck with 1 card for those of you who do watch the videos. And that's what I will be doing. Now, for those of you who, I'm still going to be doing the Reiki and Diksha, but for those of you who do sign up for the Reiki and Diksha, making that donation of $11.11, you will also be receiving a collective reading, a collective tarot reading that will be in-depth and detailed of what the energy of this moon is doing through the tarot cards. Now, the only way you will receive that, again, is if you make the donation of $11.11. You will receive an email of a in-depth collective tarot reading of this moon cycle, and you will receive Reiki, which is a universal healing, and the energy goes to wherever it's needed in you, and it happens when you're open to receive it. So it can travel through any amount of time or space. And then Diksha is a shortcut to manifestation, which is perfect because when you're working, especially with new moons, you're setting intentions of what you're trying to call in, and receiving Diksha just really amplifies that even more, and it also helps rewire the brain as well. So when you do send the donation, these are all the things that you're going to be getting. And the reason why I'm deciding to do this now is, 1, we're in the bold Aries new moon, so it's like starting something new, fresh new beginnings. It's the Aries new moon, and it's all about starting something new, and whatever it is that you guys are starting, just like I am, is going to be very fulfilling and promising to work out for you, because again, this is the first new moon of the year. So whatever seeds that you're planting right now are going to come and blossom within 6 months, and you're going to want to see when we have the Aries full moon happen 6 months from now. You're going to be so thankful that like you decided to do this now, because you have that bold energy, that fearfulness of like the warrior energy of, I'm ready to do this. This is what I want. This is what I desire. I'm doing this, and I'm putting action into this now, because that's all Aries is about. Action. What do I desire? How can I feed my ego? What do I want? What can I do for myself? And when I say that, I don't want you to think, oh, ego, self, oh, so it's not a negative thing. It's not. Feeding your ego is a good thing. When you overindulge, that's when it's not, that's when it's that negative, like, you need to calm down, humble yourself. But this isn't what that is. This is, how can I give myself more? What can I do for myself? What do I desire? And taking action in that, whatever it is that you want and desire. So that's what this new moon is doing for everybody. Another thing is too, with this Aries new moon, we have an Aries stellium. So whenever we have a stellium, this really just basically means that we have more than 3 planets in one specific zodiac sign. So we have the sun in Aries, we have the moon in Aries, we have Mercury in Aries, we have Venus in Aries, and then we also have Chiron. It's not a planet, but it is a major aspect in astrology. So I'm going to break everything down for you guys. The sun is the ego, the self. The moon is the emotions and the secrets and the shadow self, the depth of you. Then Mercury is how you think, how you communicate, your ideas that you come up with. And then Venus is how you love, how you need to be loved, your relationships. And then Chiron is the wounded healer. So we have all of these planets and asteroid Chiron in Aries. And so this is really giving us that boldness, that fire, that courageous energy, that braveness, that exciting feeling, that curiosity, that what's this newness kind of thing. Because again, Aries is the first sign. So they're the beginners. They're the go-getters. They're the ones that are learning and jumping into something new. They're passionate, they're excited, and we have all of these planets in Aries giving us that oomph that is like, that's why there's so much energy happening right now, because we're all just like, oh, what's this, and this is how I'm communicating, and this is how I'm showing my love, and all of that. And with Chiron, it's doing that healing that needs to be done and jumping into it head first, not being afraid and being like, all right, this is where I'm wounded. Okay, cool. I'm gonna take this on. I'm gonna take on like a warrior, like a soldier, because that's what Aries is. Aries is the ram. Aries is the soldier. Aries is the warrior. They're ready to go. They're ruled by the head. So with this being a new moon, we're about to set new intentions and manifest and create new aspects in our lives. And because Aries is ruled by the head, it's important to get clarity before you set these intentions. So a really good thing to do is washing your hair during this new moon, giving yourself a head massage, a scalp massage, focusing on the crown chakra, also receiving Diksha. Doing it in person is when the person who gives you oneness blessing or Diksha puts their hands on your head and they transfer that energy into you. So receiving things like that is going to help give that clarity and give you that boost of, these are the intentions. This is what I want. Okay. And then setting the intentions, writing it down, burning it, setting it to fire, because typically we want to work with fire during new moons and full moons because it helps create whatever it is that you are intentionally taking in or letting go of, depending on the moon cycle, happen much faster. And because we're in Aries season, Aries is a fire sign. So it just really amplifies that energy so much more for you guys, for everybody. Because again, it's like we're working as a collective. Yes, we all are different. We all have different natal charts. We all have different aspects that are being highlighted. But this new moon and all of these alignments still affect everybody as a whole, right? So I want to really tell you guys that with this Aries new moon energy, another thing that we're doing is we're showing up authentically as ourselves. And we're not doing it to prove a point to somebody, because Aries doesn't need to prove a point. They don't need to prove a point to anybody. They're like, this is me, this is how I am. And they don't care if you like it or not. They just show up as themselves, 100% authentically, and that's it. And that's the energy we're taking on. We're not trying to prove something to anybody. We don't want to. We're like, well, what do I want? What do I desire? This is what I'm going to do to go get it, because I'm a go-getter. And that's the energy that we're working with. Now, with that being said, I really want to get into houses of where this Aries new moon is going to be highlighting each sun and rising sign. We're going to begin with Aries because the new moon is in your sign, and it's going to be affecting your first house. This is literally your natural placement because, again, Aries is the beginning. You're naturally already in the first house. And you're a cardinal sign, right? Cardinal signs are always about taking the initiative and the first step to this new beginning. So you guys are being affected in your first house. This has to do with yourself, your identity, how you present yourself, and how you authentically show up as you every day. So with this Aries new moon, for Aries sun and Aries risings, it's really highlighting how bold can I really be? How bold am I going to present myself to the world? It's showing this courageous, this bravery, and this boldness of this is who I am, and it's just really highlighting that type of that energy, and people are drawn to that too. But you don't even care if they're drawn to it. It's just another great thing that comes and falls into with this house being affected for you guys. Then we have Taurus sun and Taurus risings. For you guys, it's going to be affecting your 12th house, your shadow side, your psychic abilities, your spiritual practices. So with Aries new moon being in this 12th house for you, it's really going to be affecting, all right, I'm going to actively pursue and be more open to these messages, these psychic downloads that happen, and actually do something about it and speak on it and be active about it. You are also going to be actively getting into your spiritual practices. You may be actively meditating more, doing more yoga, diving into yourself and working more with the divine and gods and goddesses, whatever it is that you believe in and relate to spiritually, Taurus and sun and risings. This is what's going to be highlighted with this Aries energy of being bold and brave and taking action and going about it. And then we have my Gemini suns and Gemini risings. So this is going to be affecting you guys' 11th house. And this has to deal with your friendships, technology, activism. So with you guys having this Aries energy, it's really affecting who's in your friend circle. And some of you may have felt off or having issues with certain friends. And now this Aries new moon is saying, oh, I'm going to speak up on this. And I'm going to let you guys know I don't like this and I'm not going to deal with it. You know, and kind of putting this is where I'm at and that's it, you know. And some of you also will be dealing with having stronger relationships with your friends, speaking out and being more authentic and be like, oh, you know, I love this person, and wanting to spend more time with them and doing more fun, active things. And also with technology, you are actively either taking a break from technology or you're using technology more to your advantage, and people are really noticing you, and it's like you're coming up with new fun ideas and how to use that in technology with your social media. Then we have Cancer sun and Cancer rising. So for you guys, you are also a cardinal sign. So this new moon's going to be affecting you guys very strongly because of the fact that you're a cardinal sign. You take things on, you get the beginning steps and stages down, because that's what cardinal energy is about. So with you guys, this is going to be affecting your 10th house of your career and your public image, writing, publishing. So you guys are being affected by this bold Aries energy of starting a new career, getting a new job, stepping it up in your career, taking action in an area that you had been afraid to, but now you have that, oh, I'm doing this. I'm taking action on this. I'm not afraid. And just getting it done. You guys have this very strong, brave energy backing you up of whatever it is that you've been desiring to do within your dreams and your career and what you want to really take on, and with your entrepreneurship too, or self work. You're having that energy of do it, get it done, and not being afraid to do it. You know, you have that fearless Aries energy backing you up. And then we have Leo suns and Leo risings. So for you guys, this is affecting your 9th house. Like Aries, you're also a fire sign. So there's going to be a lot of passion ignited in your 9th house of higher education, philosophy, studying, and I think it's exciting for you guys. I think this is a really exciting time for you guys because you're really getting into learning something new. Some of you have been studying a certain aspect, whether it's a language or something about history, whatever it is, or some occultism, whatever it is that you've been interested in. It's like now you're leveling up in that area and you're learning so much more and you're ready to like, how can I dive deeper into this? And you're really excited about it. Some of the stuff you might be wanting to learn about too is, again, with that occult like stuff where people are, it's like that taboo thing, and you're like, no, this is what I'm doing, and it's exciting, and you know, and you guys are already Leo, so you guys are already very vocal about where you stand, but this Aries energy is just heightening that for you and making things even more exciting and bold. Now moving on to Virgo suns and Virgo risings, you guys are going to be affected in your 8th house. Now the 8th house has to deal with shadow work. It has to deal with transformation, sexuality, death. So this is where you guys are really jumping in with this Aries energy of taking it head on, not being afraid to deal with that nitty gritty, deep rooted shadow self, the places you don't want to get into and touch because you know it's scary and it hurts. But this Aries new moon is like, oh, I'm ready. I'm taking this on now. I'm bold. I'm fearless. Let's get into it. And then we can move on and let it go and let it be. That's what this is all about. Because Aries, again, Aries doesn't hold on to things. They get into it and then it's done and then they move on. So this is a really good aspect to have when dealing with shadow work, because it's not heavy and hanging on to you. You're just getting into it. And then you're like, okay, now it's done. And that's where that transformation comes from. Also with the 8th house, you're transforming, you're moving into a new version of yourself. And, you know, people might even start noticing this with you Virgos too. And if not, again, with this whole needing to prove a point, you guys don't need to prove a point with this transformation you're having. You're showing up authentically as yourself with this Aries stellium energy that we're working with. Because again, that's what transformation is about. You get into something and then you blossom into something else because you've let it go. It has died. That's where the death part of the 8th house comes into. This aspect has died and we're ready to go on to the next thing. Then we have Libra sun and Libra risings. Now, because you are Aries polarity, you are also a cardinal sign. So, like, this is, okay, how can I start this? How can I get this going? It's going to be affecting your 7th house. And that's where Libra naturally is ruled by the 7th house. So it's going to be really affecting your guys' relationships, your romance, your partnerships, just basically all aspects of all relationships is what's going to be highlighted with this Aries new moon. And this Aries new moon is giving you that boldness to be the person to step up and let that person know how you feel. Be bold, be brave, be daring. Trying new things out with, maybe you're drawn to something you haven't been like attracted to before and you're like, oh, this is different, but I like this, and getting into it. So that's what's happening with Libra suns and Libra risings. Scorpio sun, Scorpio rising. This is affecting our 6th house. And the sixth house has to do with health and wellness and day-to-day routines. So this Aries new moon is really giving us that energetic push that we've been needing to get on a healthier lifestyle, getting more active, taking care of more of like the self and what we want and what we desire. We may be exercising a lot more with this Aries new moon affecting the sixth house. The day-to-day routines are really being picked up too. We're being a lot more active in like, this is how I'm going to start my morning. I'm consciously making these efforts and actively doing something about it. That's what this Aries new moon is really highlighting for Scorpio suns and Scorpio risings. Then we have Sagittarius sun, Sagittarius rising, and this is affecting the fifth house for you guys. And with you guys, you're also a fire sign like Aries. So there's a lot of passion and enthusiasm and excitement coming into your fifth house of children and courage and creativity also. So whatever it, like you're getting creative and you're taking action on it. Maybe you're more actively painting, more actively creating art, visual art, photography, videography, podcasts, your creative things out there for everybody to see, and having that courageous, like, look at me, I'm on the stage, all eyes are on me, and being really bold and daring and just putting yourself out there and having fun doing it too. So that's what this Aries new moon is really highlighting for you guys. And then we have Capricorn sun, Capricorn rising, and this is going to be affecting your guys' fourth house. You guys are also a cardinal sign. So that means you guys have cardinal energy, which is having fresh starts, having fresh beginnings, starting new. That's what cardinal energy is. And so you guys are going to be affected by this new moon more than people who are not a cardinal sign, just because of that right there. So you guys are going to be affected in the fourth house, which has to do with your home and your family and your emotions. And so for Capricorns, what's really happening is you guys are really stepping up to be authentically yourself and being vulnerable and being daring about it and showing up in your home life of just being more open of who you really are and showing that to your family, and not having that fear of worrying about what they think about you or how they perceive you. That's not a worry to you. You're like, this is who I am, this is how I'm showing up, these are my emotions, this is how I'm showing up in my vulnerability, and this is just it. And it's not a I need to prove myself. It's just this is it. This is how it is. And I think that's a really great thing for Capricorns. And then we have Aquarius sun and Aquarius risings. So for you Aquarius sun and risings, it's going to be affecting your third house of community, communication, curiosity, the 3 C's. And so you guys are really stepping up and being like, how can I actively listen more to the people that are surrounded by me or I'm surrounded by in my community? What action can I take on to help my community? And you're communicating, being more assertive in how you communicate also, because again with Aries, they're a very assertive sign. They get straight to the point. And so Aquarius, this is really beneficial for you guys. Just being, and you're very curious and you want to jump in and try new things out too. Because again with Aries, they want to jump in. They want to start something new. They're go-getters. So this is where this is affecting for you guys' third house. And then we have Pisces sun and Pisces rising. And this is going to be affecting your second house of finances, valuables, what it is that you value, and your stability. So this is like giving you that bold energy of, I want to ask for more money from my job. I want a promotion. And this has been an ongoing theme for Pisces. And it's like, it's giving you that boldness of, ask for it. You know you deserve it and you're not afraid. You're going to actively be like, hey, I know what I deserve. This is the money that I want. Give it to me now. Type of energy, And your guys' valuables are going to be also affected with the second house and the Aries new moon, and your possessions and your security also. And you want to take more action on your security. What kind of things can I do to have better security? How can I actively do something about this? Instead of thinking about it, now you're putting action into it. So that is the astrological aspect of this new moon in Aries. And now, like I said, I will be pulling one card from the Moonology deck. And for those of you who did sign up for the Reiki and Diksha, you guys again will be receiving that collective new moon in Aries tarot reading also. For everybody watching, what is a message that everyone needs to know right now with this new moon energy that we're dealing with? What is something we need to hear? We have new moon in Gemini. Communication is key. So this is really focusing on, okay, what is it that you desire with this new moon in Aries? What is that you're presenting to everybody? How are you communicating that to yourself? What kind of thoughts, when you're thinking about you and the things that you're doing, how do you speak to yourself? How do you communicate to yourself? Because again, with the Aries new moon, we're focused on the self and the ego and what it is that we want and what it is that we desire. So how are we communicating that? What kind of language are we using to ourselves and going about taking the action of what we want? What is the communication? That's the key to it all. How you communicate. Words have power. And you notice that, like, how you speak to others. Oh, well, if I communicate this in this way, this is what will get this person to listen to me and hopefully get this reaction that I want if I communicate it in this certain way. And it's like you got to do and have that same thought process with yourself. How can I better communicate with myself, with the desires and wants that I have? And how can I get to that place? So that's a good thing for you guys to really think about. Now, with all this being said, I want you guys to make sure that with this new moon in Aries, you guys are writing down your intentions. Again, make sure you work with your head, the scalp, and that'll really give that clarity when you work with this, because you're actively doing something with the head, which is where Aries is ruled. So make sure you do, your thing with your crown chakra, and write down intentions of what it is you're calling in, and write it down in the present tense as if you already have it. I have blah, blah, blah. I really hope this video helps you guys understand more and gives you more of an idea of what you can do for yourself. And as always, make sure you give me a thumbs up and comment down below. Write down what it is that you're calling in. What are you manifesting? And if you don't want to share that, you can just comment a fire emoji to let me know that you followed along this long in the video, and that you are working on your intentions and manifestations also. And I will catch you guys with the next full moon at the end of the month in Scorpio. And also make sure you watch this week's Tarot of the Week. And I'll see you guys another time. Bye!